you own it. Let every mile bring a smile, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Road to Life podcast. This week, we've got two of our very favorite human beings on planet Earth.
And you're going to see why in this episode.
Badass business owners and an amazing example of married entrepreneurs figuring out life and business. Welcome to the show, Jami and Rocco Montana. So, tell us a little bit about you guys. Like, how did you guys come to be? Like, what's your origin story? How did you guys meet?
We met at an office job, like at work in...
The old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way, yeah. It wasn't even the internet, although the internet played a role.
Yes.
I had broken up with a girlfriend, and I had an extra Tom Petty ticket. And I posted on Facebook, I have an extra Tom Petty ticket, would love company, don't care to sell it. Anybody interested? And her assistant at the time both responded. I thought she was hotter, so I messaged her back and said, hey, when can I pick you up for our date? She was like, it's not a date. I was like, well, can we get off of Facebook and you can give me your phone number? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, that's not going to happen. Like, we're definitely either having a conversation over the phone or this isn't going to work. And she was like, fine. I said, where do I pick you up for a date? Because I knew it was a rub for her now. And she goes, you can come to the Shell station on 93. I'll meet you there. Like, okay. So you tell the next part kind of better than I do.
Well, I want to rewind a little bit and tell it through my lens, because as you will learn on this podcast, we do a lot of things together, but we look at life through different lenses, which is
crooked eyes, though.
Which is yes, you do. Which is a strength in our marriage and also our business. So Rocco, then known as just Montana, because his last name, Rocco, we worked for a startup. So he worked for a different business, same owner, and then I worked for a different business. He was kind of the office clown, really. And I thought he was cute, but I had met his girlfriend, and no diss to her, but we were very different people, right? Like, I was road biking into work, like
11 miles. I was like, and then she was snowboarding on the weekends with her friend in Beaver Creek, which was one of my favorite resorts. I was like, damn.
And she was a stay-at-home girlfriend, and I've not even ever been a stay-at-home wife. So we were very different people. I thought he was super fun and really cool.
I learned a lot about what I didn't want in a relationship during that time with my ex.
As we all do through our natural progression of relationships.
For sure.
But he had posted that he had an extra ticket to Tom Petty. I love Tom Petty. I love Red Rocks. And I was like, heck yeah, I'll go to Tom Petty for free with this clown. And so, yeah, he asked me for my phone number, which now knowing him and having watched him shop on Facebook Marketplace, he asks everybody to get off Facebook Messenger and go straight to the texting. So I don't feel real special in that regard.
This is new. This is a new ad lib to the story I haven't heard yet. Every time she buys something at Facebook Marketplace, she's like, I don't know, I haven't heard from you. I'm like, did you get a phone number? I'm not going to show up to somebody's house through a Facebook Messenger. Like, just like, let's have a conversation.
Anyway, it's my turn. Yes, he asked me where he should pick me up for our date. And I did not think it was a date. I really was not interested in him in that capacity. So I made him pick me up at the gas station like 10 miles from my house on the way to Red Rocks. And we had a lovely time. We really did. I'm 6 years older than Rocco, and I come from a town of like 300 people in South Dakota. So being a 30-plus-year-old female, people were questioning my sexual orientation. Was I a spinster? Why wasn't she married and have 4 kids yet? So I was definitely getting to the age where I wanted to be in a long-term relationship.
I was killing it on OkCupid.
And he was totally killing it on OkCupid as he tells the story. But believe it or not, that first night at Red Rocks, I literally watched his goofiness like skip up the stairs to our seat, and I stopped dead in my tracks and I looked up to this guy and I was like, really, God? This is the guy that I'm gonna marry? And that was it. I knew I was gonna spend the rest of my life with him. Like, it didn't take much convincing for me. It took him a couple more dates.
I'm not super proud of it, but I was very forthcoming because I was in the process. I'm a serial monogamist. Like from 13 to like 27, I had like 3 and 4 year long relationships primarily, right? Like I was not a sow in your oats guy. And at this point in my life, I really did want a partner. I was super burned by the ex who I went to high school with and had memories and like looked at rings with her and was really glad we didn't go forward down that path. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to just sow some oats. And this lasted like a whole like month, right? It wasn't like years of me just being some womanizer. It was me dating. I was dating and forthcoming like, hey, I'm seeing a few women. I'm going out. And yeah, we dated. We had a great time at Red Rocks. And at the end of that night or morning, I was like, hey, like, I got like 2 more dates this week and like, I'm interested, but like, I want to see what's going on here. And she was like, you do you, boo. Like, that's fine. And I went on 2 more dates. And then we went out. Was the World Series before or after the airport story?
I think it was before.
Was it before?
I think so, yeah.
So, okay, so not even our second date. She called me. She needed a ride to the airport. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I get in her car, I drive her to the airport, and she's like, all right, I gotta go, I'm running late. So she gets to the ticket counter, and I'm leaving, I drive off. She gets to the ticket counter, she goes, oh, listen, I know I'm late. They know me here by now, I'm always late. I'll make it, just let me know. And the guy goes, ma'am, your flight was yesterday.
Really late.
Yeah.
In the midst of this, I was like, okay, see you. She goes, okay, love you, bye. I said, it's okay, you can love me.
It was horrifying.
And then I had to turn around and get her.
Yeah. It was terrible.
And we spent like 2.5 hours at the airport. They gave me a non-passenger security pass.
Because
I had a cocktail and I was like, listen, I'm very interested. I'm just not quite there yet. And she's like, yeah, great.
Yeah. It was actually really sweet. And I think, things played out exactly as they needed to, right? Rocco had been in very long-term serious relationships, and he needed to be out there a little bit to see that I was the coolest thing since sliced bread. So
I can confirm.
And you know what? For me, I really was attracted to him after the fact because of his lightheartedness. He loves life. Like, there are not many people on planet Earth that love life as much as this guy. Sometimes it's exhausting to be his mate. It's also extremely motivating, and he pushes me out of my comfort zone a lot.
Listen, I think it made you tired yesterday when I was like, I'm going to get up at 3, go to the gym, so we don't have to rush and play this dance for the farmer's market, and I'll handle the farmer's market, and we've got this podcast interview, and we've got a dinner date and a haunted house tonight. And she was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you rest. Like, you want the rest? I'm good. Like, just rest. And
what a good team. The way you tell that story.
That's an awesome story.
Is exactly why you're like my favorite people in the whole world.
Thank you.
Actually, so I knew the airport story. I'd heard the premature I love you airport story. I hadn't actually heard the Red Rock story. I'm also a giant Tom Petty fan, and I love that you two connected over Tom Petty. That is so cool. And just the way you tell that story is exactly why I love you guys so much. That was so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we love you right back.
Appreciate that. So you mentioned earlier that you guys see life very different, like through different lenses. Talk to me a little bit about that. What are the big differences, and like how do you like balance that with each other?
I mean, I can do it much easier for business than life, but in business, and maybe this can relate to life. In business, I'm a top line guy. I'm a revenue guy. Like, next deal, more money. We can do it. We'll get there. It's all good. Okay, we fell on our face there. Get up and keep going now.
Rocco's a visionary. He is the top of our companies, right? So, and our marriage, like he brings a lot of excitement and joy into our marriage, but he is the visionary and I am the implementer. Here's a perfect example. So we got married, obviously, and we wanted to get married in the mountains. We didn't want to get married where he's from or I'm from. We wanted to get married here in Colorado. So this is what this man says to me. He's like, listen, you plan the wedding and I'll plan the honeymoon, right? So I'm planning the wedding and he's planning the honeymoon. And what was the plan for the honeymoon?
3 weeks, we're going to get in the car and drive to snowboarding.
There was no plan. We were just getting in the car and we were just going by the seat of our pants, which was amazing. We had the best honeymoon ever.
It was the best. It's still going to stay the best we've had.
We had a venue. We had a guest list. We had an open bar. We had a DJ. We had music sets. Like, there was a lot more planning that went into the wedding than went into the honeymoon. And that is exactly how we operate. Rocco sees opportunities in business that I typically don't see because I'm a data person, right? And he pushes me to be more of a visionary, to be more of an entrepreneur. Even just like becoming an entrepreneur, like I worked in corporate America our whole relationship until he literally tapped me on the shoulder and was like, dude, what you do for other companies, I need you to come into our company and do. Otherwise, we're going to be screwed. And I was like, what? And I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I don't have a blood relative in my immediate family that doesn't own their own business. Like I don't. Everybody in my family owns my own business, but what Rocco really does is I think he brings out that entrepreneurial spirit in me. And what I do is when Rocco's running to jump out of the plane and he doesn't even know if there's a parachute anywhere in proximity, I'm making sure he has a parachute on, and I'm making sure that we have a landing pad and things like that. So that's really the biggest difference in how we approach life and business.
So you guys really play to each other's strength. Like the wedding example is a beautiful example of how you guys each play to each other's strengths. Like the wedding requires a little more detail orientedness and planning and logistics. And like Jamie's like, yeah, that's my jam. And Rocco's like, hey, I've got this great idea for a kick-ass honeymoon with no planning required, and it's going to be amazing. And you guys went off for 3 weeks and had an amazing time.
Yeah.
You play to each other's strength. You give each other the space to step into your greatness and do what you do best. Trust each other.
It took practice.
I mean, definitely in business, it took a lot of practice for me to understand the necessity of like a certain level of planning and structure to be successful. And it's what's really turned our businesses around in the last 2 years, especially now. We're less than 1 year, which still blows my mind. It feels like it's been so long. We are less than 1 year of wholly owning our construction business and rebuilding our construction business and rebranding the most recent iteration of our construction company. And we have never been so aligned.
Yeah.
And it feels like, it really right now feels like it's been so long. And like we literally dissolved the previous construction company in like February. It's October.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, obviously community plays a big part in that, right? Like we're all here because of the final percent. And there's a lot of things that we learn through that community. Relationship coaching through you guys. I mean, we've called you a handful of times with some funny moments and some also like, what did we do with this? But it takes a lot of practice. It doesn't happen overnight. But I think the most important thing in mine and Rocco's relationship in life and business is we're not willing to give up, right? Like we're not quitters on any realm. And we have the bruises and the broken bones and the setbacks in business to prove it. And we also don't quit on ourselves. And Rocco's a big one about that. Like I have a little bit, I have a bit of a temper compared to him. And there's moments where I physically just need space. Like, hey dude, just give me a minute. I want to sleep on the couch tonight. And he was like, I'm just going to sit in the chair next to you then, because we have to be in the same room when we go to sleep. It's a rule in our marriage.
I love that.
That's a great rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that rule.
We're not sleeping in separate beds.
No.
Oh, there's too much good stuff that happened. Obvious good stuff.
Yes.
7.
And just the emotional piece, like of being in the same room, like that emotional closeness. It's a big piece that gets missing when you're in separate bedrooms.
Yeah, we actually have. I want to add this before your next question though. So we have a rule. We call it the snuggle snooze. So we get one snooze, regardless of what time we go to bed or wake up. We get one snooze, and that is a 15-minute snuggle snooze.
The alarm goes off. I roll over.
Good.
I love that.
I think we just
put my arms around her and like we wait till the alarm goes off again.
I love that. Snooze. I think we might have just found the title for this episode. So talk to us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, you mentioned construction. What else? What are you guys up to? Tell us about your businesses.
Well, we're only down to 3.
Yes.
We were definitely at like 7 at one point.
Yeah.
We're getting proficient and doubling down on our strengths and getting more effective.
Beautiful simplicity.
Yeah. So I've been a realtor for coming up on 10 years. So September, we're less than 1 year out from the 10-year anniversary when I got my real estate license. We're less than 1 year out from 10 years ago I quit my last job working for somebody else. We got to remember the date that you quit your job.
Okay.
We should figure that out.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm sure if we call Javed, he'd know.
yeah, he's got good records. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we got into real estate, invested in a real estate investment mentoring program. Did a deal. I found a wholesale deal on Facebook. It was, I made $16,000 for like less than 4 hours of work. Quit my job. We got married, had 3-week honeymoon, and didn't get a deal for a year. And in that time, I had a mentor tell me, go do deals with somebody else. Go be a realtor. And I didn't want to be a realtor. I didn't want to unlock doors, right? And I wanted to be an investor, which at the time, because we did get some family investment later, but like I had no 401k, no career, no degree, no inheritance. And Jami was doing well at her job, and she supported me for a good 2 or 3 years before I was like, you need to leave your job, and like, or I'm going to lose $2 million in borrowed money.
Yeah, that was literally
so I became a realtor, and I ended up really loving it. So we lost a good amount of money halfway, about 5 years ago, a couple $100,000. Didn't walk away from anybody, never filed bankruptcy, but we were flipping houses, and 2 projects went really, really sideways. And, at the end of the day, our name was on the line. It was our responsibility. At the time, it was, the partner this, the GC that, et cetera, et cetera. So that was a very expensive lesson about extreme ownership, because it wasn't anybody else's fault that our projects failed, because they were our projects, right? So our bread and butter is, I've been a realtor. Jami partnered with a general contractor about 5 years ago, turned a $60,000 tax burden, $30,000 in credit card debt. In 18 months, it turned into 2 free and clear vehicles, current taxes, and 6 figures in the bank.
Yep.
That dissolved a few years ago. We partnered with the project manager. That lasted about a year. We took a really 6-month side visit into selling commercial laundry equipment. Those partners were like, we're going to keep laundry. You can have the construction company. And we're like, well, hold on. The construction company is sideways because of literally your project management. So we stepped away from that. And literally this past week, I got my general contractor's license. We wholly own our real estate and our construction companies. And things are well. We got 3 deals under contract in real estate. We've got just under $1 million renovation that is going to be closed in November to get started. The first 2-3 weeks from that starting, and our addition for our friends that we're looking at, it's going to be a couple $1,000.
We've just kind of, Rocco really pulled us into the real estate world, and he's got
love it. Despite the losses and tough market and et cetera, et cetera.
It's a huge purchase for anybody, right? And we believe that everybody deserves a high level of service, but in the construction and real estate industry, you really need to work with people who are operating from a place of integrity, who give a shit. Like, that's our core,
our first core value.
Yeah, our first core.
Both companies.
In all of our companies. We also own a direct to consumer beef sales business, an online beef sales business. We support my family's 70-year-old cattle ranch doing that. And it's really a passion project. It's a way for us to stay plugged into the ranch and be part of something that is very near and dear to both of our hearts. But
where our food comes from.
Yeah. But give a shit. That's our number one core value in all our companies. And so we've been able to service people at a higher level because we give a shit. Right? Because we're not real estate agents to get a deal. We're not contractors to build cool stuff. While all of those things are fun, we do those things because we saw a gap in the industry of where we could really elevate a level of service and serve at a higher level and feel really great about it. We love what we do.
And it comes through. And obviously we are intimately familiar with you guys. We've traveled and
intimately familiar makes it seem weird.
Okay. It's not
don't make it weird.
We have shared a hotel room.
It's not that kind of party though.
I guess we are.
But we are very well informed on integrity for you guys and how you show up, and your give a shit level is super high.
Your give a shit is unparalleled. I've never met 2 people who give more shits than you 2, for sure.
You give
that makes us feel really good. Thank you.
Also, total sidebar, your beef is delicious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've never
Thank
had
you.
better beef.
But I remember when we were in Colorado last time and we visited you, you picked us up and you took us to one of your projects, and we got to see the project and how you manage it and all your people and how well respected you are with your trades and the people that were running kind of your job for you. And you don't always see that. Like, you don't always see that relationship that you guys have. So it's really cool to watch you guys build those relationships. Obviously, your relationship with each other is super strong, but the relationships that you're building with the people that you work with and your community is really cool to watch.
Based on your integrity, based on your give a shit, based on the incredibly high level of ownership you talked about a few minutes ago, Rocco. Like, you guys do not pass things off. You guys step in and own everything you possibly can. And I think those three things together from the outside looking in is a recipe for just going to the moon. For me, from the outside looking in, to me, that seems like why everything is feeling so aligned and taking off for you guys right now.
Well, I don't know why I've been thinking about it so much this last month. It's been on my mind. Like, we're less than a year out from the 10-year anniversary of JROC Properties.
Yeah.
Like, we incorporated in June, but I got licensed in September. I'd really like to think September is like that would be the 10-year anniversary as far as.
And it's been a ride.
And it's just starting to click.
Yeah.
Like, and overnight success, it's 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's really 11 years.
Yeah.
2026 is year 10. 2027 is going to be like, oh, yeah, we got it.
Yeah,
that's 100% accurate.
That might be our overnight success year, which we're crossing our fingers for.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it just comes back to a lot of core values, and not that our core values haven't been tested, right? This is why we have had partners and we don't have those same partners anymore. It's why we fired clients. We fired lenders that, like, they didn't understand that we were trying to help them and they wanted to do it their way, and we had the experience to say, hey, this is a recipe for disaster. I'll give you an example. At the time, it would have been the largest real estate deal I've ever done. It was a close friend of ours at the time, a private lender of ours as well, that was funding some of our projects. We don't work with them anymore in any capacity. And they were like, we want to do it this way, and can you do this, and can you call in a favor? And I'm like, this is not the process. And they're like, no, let's do it this way. And we did it, and then I set a hard boundary for my birthday. Like, we work a lot. Like, we work a ton. Like, again, I said earlier, I was up at 3 a.m. to get in the gym today, to get to the farmer's market, to get to this podcast, to get to our social night with our friends. And I said, it's my birthday. I'm attached to my phone. I said, I'm turning my phone off at 9 p.m. for 24 hours for my birthday. At midnight, that lady was still calling me and talking to me. And I said, you know what? Congratulations, you're the first client I'm firing. Like, this is not working. I'm trying to help. I'm bending the rules. I'm not having any boundaries, which, again, we could probably do a whole episode on boundaries and communication, relationship with your clients, with your partners, etc. She ended up in court with her next real estate agent for 2 years. Yeah.
That bullet.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I do want to step back a little bit, and maybe it would have come up, but I think it's really important to note, like, when we first started, the reason we're in real estate and construction is because we tried to both do real estate together and we didn't get along.
Oh, yeah.
It was a detriment to our marriage. And that was more important than the business.
Yeah.
And Jamie got the itch for construction, a curiosity around construction. And one of the guys we were working with expressed his concern. And Jamie has a master's degree. Jamie turned around a multi-million-dollar private university facility.
Programs within that.
Yeah, I mean, but $10 million budgets, 200 employees, turn something, again, there that wasn't profitable into a profitable enterprise. And I'm going to own this. And it wasn't conscious, but in hindsight, it was very clear. I didn't respect her business acumen because I was the visionary and I was the real estate guy and I focused on the real estate work, and it was my thing, right? And I never said that. And I never truly consciously felt that, but there was definitely something under the surface. Again, we could probably do a whole other episode on slaying your demons and where you're born and your family and all that. But like, it took us a few years to like circle back around. I mean, 5 years, a solid 5 years for us to be like, okay, we can do this together. We can communicate effectively. Yes, you're right. But also, she can tell me when I'm right, and
Yeah.
I can give her critical feedback without hurting feelings. And more importantly, I can get critical feedback without thinking like, oh, I'm a bad husband now.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was not the case. It was just a business conversation.
What do you attribute that switch to? Like, you obviously were kind of bumping heads and you weren't able to do it for a while, and then 5 years later, okay, we can do this. What was the trigger? What was the thing that made you realize, like, oh yeah, no, we got this?
Awareness.
There's nobody else I would want to do this with besides her.
Yeah. And I think too, it's like, I mean, it was hostile, right? Like we were both working in real estate. We were butting heads. I mean, there were moments where we would leave new client meetings and be like, well, they're never calling us again. Those people, I mean, for real, we would talk over each other. We would correct one another. Like we'd fact check one another. It was not good.
We scoreboarded it publicly.
So bad. But we just, we didn't quit, right? We kept going. We separated, right? I went into construction. He went into real estate. Now, mind you, we had been flipping houses this whole time. So we had been in construction in one capacity or another, but we just decided to divide and conquer for a little bit. We got our own experiences. I think we matured a lot. And then it really came down to, and it still does, right? Because this is something that you continue to learn throughout your entire relationship. Whatever that relationship is, we listen to each other more, right? We hear each other more, we give each other space to think. We've learned a lot more about each other being together for a decade. We understand, Rocco, when I know when Rocco's upset, right? I can see it in his face. I can see it in the height he holds his head.
It's a conversation we had yesterday versus the conversation we had this morning.
Exactly. So it took a lot of practice. It took a lot of trial and error. And, we just didn't give up on each other. We figured out a different path forward, and it gave us the ability to come back together stronger. Really, really strong. And then we surrounded ourselves with the right people. We are the poster child for the infinity model because we had every coach in the world. Yeah. And I'm sure there are a lot of your listeners out there who have done the same things. Like, we're not special.
And there's great coaches. There's great singularly focused coaches out there. There's great business coaches, and there's great health coaches, and there's great spiritual coaches, and there's great relationship coaches. When you are seeking as much growth as we are seeking to achieve the huge vision and goals that we had all these different coaches, and the business coaches grind, and the relationship coaches spend more time on date nights, and your fitness coaches, do one more rep and also get more rest, and the business coaches will work till it's 11 o'clock and make 1,000 phone calls.
It was all
it was super fragmented.
Yeah.
But I think, if I may, I'm sorry, I hope I didn't cut you off there. It's just, I think it comes down to communication. I think, like, if I had to put it in one word, maybe two, because I think this is also important, communication and humility.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Humility and, like, you know what? Cool, I have this grand vision, but I'm never going to execute it without my partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that doesn't just go for business. That goes for our house, that goes for our life, that goes for our day-to-day. Like, she's my rock, and she's my partner. And we made it really, I made it really clear. I wasn't looking for dinner on the table at 5 and a baby maker, right? Like, and early on in our relationship, like, I wanted somebody arm in arm in the trenches with me, like, and we're going to build something together.
He said it exactly like this. I don't want you to paraphrase because this is important. He literally said to me, hey, I really like you. I think we're vibing. But if you have a biological clock ticking, I'm out. That's how the conversation went.
Yeah, she goes, can I think about it? And this is like, on it? I think this was the same day I bought you a season pass.
Probably.
I think, and you cried. Yes. It was the nicest gift you had at the time I bought. I was like, listen, I'm going to be snowboarding, and I really enjoy skiing with you, and, like, I'm going to spend all the time at the mountain. And she was like, well, I can't afford a pass at the time. And I'm like, cool, I'll buy you one. And, like, she cried.
And then I was like, humility. Communication and humility. We've had to learn to be humble with one another, with ourselves, with our clients, with our other family, with our, that's one of the things I love about what you guys do is relationships isn't just a marriage or a business relationship. Like, if you interact with other humans,
Yeah.
You need relationship skills.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. And you're not born with them.
No.
You are not. We are not taught this shit.
No.
No. School of hard knocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trial and error. You learn as you go, just like you guys did. And it's really cool to hear. And it reminds me of one of the things we say a lot is like around the humility comment is you can be happy or you can be right.
And your ego wants you to be right? That's why you guys were scorekeeping and correcting each other and all those foolish things you did back in the day, because your ego wants you to be right. We all do. We all have that. But you can make a conscious choice.
Choose to be happy or choose to be right. Mm-hmm. Obviously, early days, it was a battle, and right won once in a while. And then eventually it's like, okay, get over in the passenger seat, ego. We got it. Like, this woman means the world to me. I want to do more things with her. I got to put my ego in check, and it's all about happiness.
Yeah.
Love it.
And that's a butterfly effect, right? So when you make that conscious decision, happiness or right, it impacts everything you do. Every relationship you have, everything you do, it impacts. And it gives you the ability to be very present and to live in the now and really start to enjoy what you're doing, because entrepreneurship sucks. Like, it's the hardest thing we've ever done in our life. And there are multiple screws missing in our brains that we have multiple companies, but we wouldn't change a thing.
Well, the podcast we just listened to is interesting. We were talking about it this morning. Is like 3% of the population are entrepreneurs. 3% have actual clinical diagnosed ADHD, and 3% are actually clinically considered on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of
weird.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it was really interesting. Greg will appreciate that. But that was on a podcast we listened to this morning with a couple of high-level CEOs.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. And I really think and Greg Kimball, the Final Percent, the founder of the Final Percent, says it recently, and I think we should lean into it. Like, we do need to stop glorifying entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship.
Like, listen, if you don't like your job, that's awesome. I get it. Go try something, but like, do a side hustle first. Like, don't quit your job and not get a deal for a year.
Yeah.
It's hard in your marriage.
Yeah. It takes long, like we talk about all the time. It takes longer than you think. You're going to have more bruises. It's going to take more resources. Like, it's just more of everything that you
much harder than you think.
Don't necessarily want. It's going to take more of that.
When we left
more growth than you think.
When we left our corporate jobs and started exploring this world, I thought, like, cool, we're going to go to the events, we're going to read the books, we're going to listen to the podcast, we're going to learn all the mistakes everybody else made, and we're going to rock this shit and make no mistakes, and we're going to hit the ground running, and it's going to be so successful from the beginning.
Like clockwork, within a few weeks, we'll be raking in the dough. Like, I don't know why more people don't just decide to quit and do this.
Why isn't everyone an entrepreneur?
This is going to be easy.
I tell a lot of people this. It doesn't sting as much as it did the first time we came to this realization, but like, I had to pay $15,000 to a business coach. In the first year of business coaching, they told me everything my wife had been telling me for the previous year.
No one trusts
that's real. Like, we laugh about it.
I appreciate it.
We laugh about it now, but like that, like, humility and communication. Like, I had to share that with my wife to heal the 2 years of bullshit I put her through. Of like, I got this. I'm the visionary. It's me. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna support you.
This is different. It was always like, no, this is different. This is different. He kept. I'm like, hold on. Balance sheets are balance sheets, and P&Ls are P&Ls. He's like, no.
Accountability is accountability. Consistency is consistency.
Yeah.
You guys are so growth oriented. Like, you have a growth mindset. Where does it come from? How are you guys so, okay, I need coaching? Where did that come from for you guys?
I signed up for Tom Ferry Coaching, which is a real estate coaching. I'm not still in it, but it was a great program. I really enjoyed it. But it's the largest filter coaching program internationally. And I met a guy selling, again, at the time would have been the largest deal at the time. I think it was $1.5 million. And the selling agent was awesome. He was super cool. He was a veteran. We had great conversation. And he I don't know how he got there, but he was making like $500,000 a month between his real estate team in 2 states and his rentals and his 2 or 3 businesses. And he was telling me how he was going to another coaching event, and he's been a coaching student for years. And I'm like, I'm not making $500,000 a year, and this guy's paying for coaching. I was like, so for me, that was the first light bulb. And then readers are leaders. That was something that was really big on the podcast we listened to earlier today. And I'm going to butcher, but it's like the more I learn, the less I know.
Yeah.
Right? But, I don't know if that's the right saying. It's something. It's along that vein, but you get the point.
I think it's like
you don't know what you don't know, and then I read something and I didn't know I knew that, but now I know that. But I also know that there's more stuff around that I don't know, and I want to know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it was, I have to give a lot of credit to my grandfather. So my grandfather is 98 years old. He's going to be 99 in January. He literally just finished combining beans last week. And he has
your phone handy.
He has an 8th grade education. He was in World War II. And he was the county commissioner for like a decade. And this man has such a curiosity for knowledge. Like ever since I was a little kid, he was always asking us questions or showing us stuff or telling us what that plant was used for. Or, he farmed with horses and tractors. So I give him a lot of the credit about just keeping me curious my whole life. Even today, like, when COVID hit, I called him because he was the oldest guy I knew. He'd been through everything. And he was like, listen, Jamie, just keep your head down and keep working. Do what you can. Don't stop. It'll blow over. Like, this was literally his advice to me in the biggest crisis of my lifetime. I mean, we didn't know if we were going to be able to work and earn money. We owned our own companies.
My ego wants to be like, who else said that?
Yeah, it's fine. But he can have that.
Don't trust
She's very humble of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I give a lot of my growth mindset to my grandfather. Again, he grew up in the dirty 30s. Like he's seen so many things, and he's not a really charismatic man. He doesn't say a whole lot. He just is a steady Eddie, and he's always been an advocate for learning. And one of the coolest stories about him was he never graduated high school. And when our oldest nephew was graduating high school, the state of South Dakota put out this program where veterans of World War II and Vietnam and things like that, these guys who didn't finish high school, they could graduate. So he actually at he was probably 92 years old. He got an honorary high school diploma with our nephew Lincoln. So cool. My mom did all.
Who's 21, by the way?
Yeah, my mom did all the paperwork. It was really, really cool. And we had a graduation party for him. It was awesome.
That is the coolest.
So cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting that your growth mindsets come from very different places. Yours instilled more from your grandfather growing up from a curiosity perspective. You, Rocco, seeing like, hey, I see that guy. I want to be more like that guy. I'm going to do what that guy does and get more coach. And obviously then you get in there, you get the benefits of it. But it's just interesting to me that it comes from two totally different places, but it comes together so beautifully and works so well because you both are coming at it from the place of thirst for knowledge.
And I think, back to that lens, Rocco and I definitely, we see life through a very different lens, but we have such tremendous love and respect for one another that we are always considering and curious about the other person's lens. And that wasn't always true in our relationship, right? Yeah. Like we tested each other a lot, and we come from very different worlds. Rocco grew up in New York and I'm from a town of 300 people. We come from very different worlds. But what is really cool is we've always had this curiosity about each other's worlds. And why does he think that way? Why does she think that way? Yeah. And I think that has really helped us, again, come together and become a really dynamic force.
For sure.
Well, I've only done it a handful of times in this podcast, but I used to jump in mid-sentence.
Yeah. Always interrupting me. Like this.
Yes.
For sure.
But where I came from, and Jamie has witnessed this, hanging out with old friends and my family, is like the conversation flows very differently in the environment in the Northeast than it does at the ranch. Mm-hmm. At the ranch, Grandpa speaks, finishes, stops, everybody ponders and responds. In New York and New Jersey, the conversation goes from here to that, to this, to that. Oh yeah, I'm in. Remember that? I was there. That's awesome. Let's go. And like, when I moved to Colorado, for example, I had to slow down my rate of speech. Not that I was not articulate. It was I spoke so fast that people in Colorado, town of 100,000, coming from New York and New Jersey, where there was millions in the area, in the metropolitan statistical area, it's kind of the same thing. That's just how I spoke. It wasn't rude. I wasn't interrupting you. I was contributing to the conversation at the same rate with the same level of enthusiasm that you were.
Yeah.
As opposed to.
And you know the coolest thing about it, to interrupt you intentionally, the coolest thing about it is Rocco and I can offer different levels of service to different clients, right? We may switch a client off and be like, no, you got to be point on this person because you're going to be able to get through a little bit more. And one of the things that I'm always excited about being in construction is there's not a lot of women in construction, but there's a lot of female homeowners that want to redesign their house. There's more and more female business owners that are doing tenant improvement projects. And so it's really fun for me to be able to step in. Like when I show up on a job site to do a pre-walk or something like that, and a woman's there, she's like, are you a decision maker here? And so we get to have that relationship, and you know, Rocco's super respectful of that. Like we have an amazing female client right now. She's a business owner and she is taking her company to the next level, and we're doing the build out of her new space. And it's really wonderful to be able to work with her, and Rocco contributes for sure, but I am her primary point of contact.
I love that you guys are feeding off each other's strengths and looking at the best interest of the client of like, no, you're definitely going to be someone that is going to resonate for this person and get them what they need and what they want. I love that. And the other thing, go ahead. And
also what's best for the team, right? Like you two as a team, you're looking to give your clients the best level of service based on the team. So in this situation, Jamie's going to relate better and she's the best one to ensure the team wins to get her, the client, the best result she can get.
And the other thing I wanted to go back to was the thing that you guys talked about curiosity.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's such a superpower in a relationship when you can get curious about the other person's world. And I just love that you've keyed in on that and that you're honing in on getting into each other's worlds, because we go through life shoulder to shoulder. Like we spend an amazing amount of time together, and you guys spend a lot of time together too. And the thing is like, we think that because we see the world a certain way, we just assume that like, oh, well, you were there. You
saw it the same way.
You experienced it like I did, but that's not the truth.
No, that didn't happen in my,
experienced it completely differently. And a lot of people take for granted that, no, you were there, you saw it the same way I did, but that's just not the way it is. And I just love that you guys have leaned into that curiosity.
Because most of the time we all default to assumptions and judgment. Like I assume you saw it the same way I did. I'm making a judgment on your behalf. When you lean into curiosity, you learn more about the other person, how their mind works, which allows you to build empathy, which helps you meet them where they are, and really coming full circle fully undermines the whole assumption and judgment piece because you now understand better how their mind works, so you're more willing to lean into curiosity again next time. It's such a superpower in your marriage especially, but in literally every interaction you have with another human being on the planet.
And to be able to do that with another human being, to really be curious about them, is a grand gesture of affection and love, right? I grew up in a way that's not really common, right? You know, I grew up in a agricultural ranching community.
No divorces.
No divorces in my family.
3 generations live within miles of each other. It's
very Mayberry-ish, if you will. But Rocco, the first time he came out, he was like, he was like a child. I mean, we kind of let him loose on the ranch and he wanted to see and touch everything. And can I ride the horse? Can I drive that tractor? And it was just like...
I'm still the same way 10 years later.
He truly, truly is. And my father has yet to let him drive a tractor. And I don't blame him. But I remember watching him do that and thinking, gosh, he really cares about me. He has to care about me to be this curious about something I truly love.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you said at the very beginning about one of the things you love about Rocco is his I'm going to say his funness, his
childlike wonder.
Yeah, his willingness to always lean in and make everything fun, which is another huge strength in a relationship. Because I think as we all grow up and become adults and go out into the real world and eventually become entrepreneurs and bang your head against the wall a bunch of times, you feel like fun falls way down, if not off the priority list. And when things are being fun, you stop wanting to do them.
I am like No fun. We are not having fun. We're working. We're going to work.
We have bills. We have debt. So wherefore, we cannot have pizza.
Yeah.
I'm like, honey, I'm going to take you out for your birthday. No, because we have bills to pay.
I wouldn't have made it this far without this guy, right? Like, hands down, I wouldn't have, because I'm the type of person that's like, if it doesn't hurt, it's not worth it. No pain, no gain.
I say that all the time.
Yeah. And he was like, what if it wasn't? What if we could have fun
What
and
if
do
we
these things?
Could be more efficient, or what if we could hire that out?
Yeah. So it took me a minute to get there. I was definitely right for a good half of our relationship. So grateful that I got out of my own way and listened to somebody who I'd love and trust.
Well, and the feeling's mutual, right?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
we would never be unburdened by our debt or our losses if there was not a structure and a plan. Our businesses would never grow the way they're growing right now if you weren't there to be like, hey, like, okay, I totally get it. We should totally have some fun. Like, can we just go for a hike this weekend because it is really tight?
Yeah.
Like, let's compromise a little.
Yeah.
We don't have to go to the $300 dinner this weekend.
Yeah.
Totally. And I respect that. And
Yeah.
she respects that. It's important to not just sit in this office every day, all day for the rest of our lives until we can pay off the losses from a business risk we took that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Hey, life goes on.
That's the part of entrepreneurship, again, that you have to embrace the suck.
You do.
You really have to embrace the suck. Whether it's going out and making sure you see the world's largest whatever on your journeys, which I think is so cool. Or it's something, Rocco and I, we find a lot of joy in nature. We want to be outside. We want to be on our snowboards. We want to be up in the mountains, and we've had to carve time out to make it a priority.
Yeah. I love, you guys are such a beautiful example of we have 5 rules to be an unstoppable team. It'll be in our book. Quick plug. I actually feel like, I know you just finished the editing today, but maybe you want to add something to it. We have a rule called everyone's contribution matters. And you two, the premise is you're going to play different positions on your team. Like, you both can't be quarterbacks, obviously, but everyone's contribution moves the team forward. And you guys so clearly see how each other's contributions are moving the team forward. You have so much respect for each other's contributions to the team's goals. It's really beautiful.
And it wasn't always that way.
Yeah. But
growth.
As we're gonna wrap up, feeding off of that question, where do you guys see yourselves in the future, like 3 to 5 years? Like where do you guys build?
What are the big JROC
Yeah, like
goals?
what's JROC gonna be? Like, when are we gonna see the name on the crane?
It's coming.
That's exactly what I was
saying.
saying.
Name on a crane. And the other thing that we've been talking a lot about lately is changing horizons. Right.
Changing the skyline. I want to change the skyline of the cities we operate in. So one of my goals, and I believe Jamie's on board, is I want to build 100 units, whether it's a 100-unit apartment building or 100 homes in a subdivision. Like, I want to be a part of a 100-unit project.
Yeah. And we want to change the skylines of the people we work with. Right. So we want to contribute to the community that we operate in, whether it's a zip code or the people who work with us, the people who are in our mastermind groups. We don't just want to change the horizons of cities. We want to change the horizons of the people that we get to interact with. We have a big goal. We've got a $5 million charitable donation goal in the next 10 years. 5 million. We're saying it out loud. It's scary, but we want to donate $5 million to charities that we're passionate about, that make an impact in the community. And that's something that we're committed to doing.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, not only changing the horizon for the cities and the towns and the environments that you're working in, but you literally are changing the horizons of the people that you interact with every day. Can confirm that, because we are some of those people, and we see it every time we're around you. Every time we're at an event, we see the impact that you have on the community. So you're already changing the horizon of all the people you come in contact with. But I love that $5 million goal. It's big, hairy.
That's the first time I've said it out loud.
It's scary.
It's in writing. We have it in our VTOs, but we've never publicly said it. So
we're honored that this was the place that you chose to say it out loud, and anything we can do to support you on that goal, we are.
It was $1 million like 6 months ago. The 5 million just popped up here recently.
Yeah, and it should, because
do it.
We can do it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. Where can people find you?
JROC Properties on Instagram, JROC_builds on Instagram.
Colorado Construction, what is it?
JROC Colorado Construction is our construction website. JROC Properties, we have like YouTube, Instagram, JROCproperties.com.
So JROC, www.jrockgroup.com will get you to all the companies. The beet business is ranch to table.
We deliver 14-day dry aged certified Angus beef nationwide.
Yes.
On dry ice, 2-day express mail.
Sorry, Canada. Sorry, Canada. We can't ship to you yet.
Not yet.
What are the rules?
We can't ship to Canada yet.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know.
we'll just get
We'll
someone
figure
to
it
come
out.
down.
But
But
if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
You want to try the ranch to table.
It's delicious.
Yeah. Get
Thank
on
you.
it.
They work really hard.
And we'll put all of that in the show notes.
For
We'll
sure.
put all the links.
Well, thank you guys. This was so much fun. We miss you. It was so nice to have you on as our first episode of season 3, our first episode with guests. We're super excited it got to be you guys.
Well, we are very grateful to be here as well. Again, we cannot say enough to the type of human beings that you guys are and what you're doing for your communities. So like I said, when Rocco and I have our moments, you guys are the first people we call. We're hoping, I don't know how this whole mastermind thing works, if it's an annual thing, but we're ready to jump on board with the relationship mastermind. So when the next enrollment is open, let us know, because we're coming for you.
Will do.
All right, love
Sounds
it.
good.
Let's go.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you so much.
What an amazing episode.
So, what's one action you're going to take? One change you're going to make based on this little chit chat you heard with us and Jami and Rocco?
And if you're interested in joining the mastermind, like Jami and Rocco, then click the link below in the show notes. We would love to have you.
We will see you there, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Road of life, yes, you own